Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday on the Gulf Coast of Florida. I'll be jetting over to the Eastern Forward Operating Station of New Cosmic Knowledge on Wednesday, but today I'm here in Clearwater, Florida, just miles from the beach, about 3.5 to be exact, and even less than that from the worldwide headquarters of the Church of Scientology. So yeah, this is an interesting place. And there's always interesting things that we're discussing here. And today promises to be no different. I want to talk about the Coral Castle, and I want to share with you my conviction that Coral Castle is, in fact, a beacon for lost twin flames. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is my contention, and we are just about to take a look at the evidence that strongly suggests it. And I want to ask you, as a personal favor, to subscribe to the Sandra D'Angelo channel. Subscribe to Sandra D'Angelo's channel. She is my sweetheart. She is my partner in this work. We're working side by side, and I'm asking you to go and subscribe to her channel. Her birthday is on May the 27th. So that's 20 days from now. She's at 863, I believe, subscribers. Do me a personal favor. Let's get her to 1,000 and more by her birthday. And if you subscribe, I will give you a free copy of any one of my ebooks that you wish, just for being a new subscriber to Sandra D'Angelo. If you're a parent, you have to go and listen to her video. What's it called? Let's take a look at it. It is absolutely transformational. It will change the way, it will change our world, I'm telling you, if you will just do it. And I just want to find out what this video is so I can tell you exactly which one to look at. And it's a short one, but if you know kids, if you have grandkids, if you have children, you absolutely need to watch this video right here, Empower Our Children. It's 6 minutes, it's 52 seconds. It will change your life, and it will change the life of a child in your life. So you've got to do it. You've got to watch it. And let's get her, and I think it's at 867, didn't it? Let's get her up to 1,000. I'll consider it a personal favor. Now, let's talk about the Coral Castle. The Coral Castle is a very, very interesting place. You'll remember that back in December, I think it was, that was the first paranormal trip. You know, we're in the midst of Jeffrey Daugherty's paranormal trip. We've been to a lot of places, but the very first one was the Coral Castle. That's the first place we went. And when I went to the Coral Castle, and I'll just show you the pictures of it because it's really remarkable. This is Coral Castle. And I guess it would help if I would share. I just want to show you the picture so you can, so we can help you contextualize yourself and understand what's actually, you know, going on. So here's Coral Castle. This is the entryway. This is the, you know, part of it. And of course, this is Sandra D and her lovely daughter. And no, we were not dating at this point, and that's part of the story. And we're going to get into the big story tomorrow or Wednesday on the Serpent and Dove program. We'll be talking about twin flames, and we'll be talking about warnings. We'll be talking about ways to ruin twin flames. We'll be talking about ways to bring your twin flame to you, things you have to do, things that if you do, you will automatically wreck it. So that's going to happen on Wednesday on the Serpent and Dove program at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So this is Coral Castle. Some guy, Sandra again, some guy built this. His name is Edward Leedskallen. Of course, he's dead. He just wanted to be called Ed, and that's Sandra again. And this is the Coral Castle, and it's always been a big mystery how he built it, a big mystery why he built it, a big mystery what it was all about. A lot of people want to claim that it was built by levitation, it was built by energy, type of equipment, that it was something occult, it was something paranormal, it was something outside the realms of just, and there's Sandra and her daughter again. It just was outside the realms of the natural. That's what a lot of people think. And when I went there, as we studied and as we looked and as we went through And as I did the research like I always do about the place, I came to the conclusion, the same conclusion that a man named Orville Irwin, who was a dear friend of Ed Leedskalnin's, that it wasn't built with anything other than grit, determination, ingenuity, and hard work. And I am convinced of that. And I know that upsets some of you. Coral Castle was not built by magic. It was not built by anti-gravity. It was not built by ancient Egyptian or ancient Chinese secrets. It was built by grit, determination, and application of very basic, albeit very ingenious, mechanical applications. So nothing magic, nothing special about the construction of Coral Castle, nothing at all. It's actually rather mundane in its, in that nature of it. It's actually pause share. No, stop share. Pause share. No, I don't want to pause share. You would think that I forgot how to operate Zoom overnight. Travis Thorpe says it was built by IKEA. And Travis says if you're in a relationship and you're thinking about moving it to the next level, build something from IKEA. Buy something from IKEA and build it together, because they never give you enough screws. There's never the right holes. And it's a great test of the tenacity and the lastability, which is not a word, of your relationship. So that's hilarious, I thought. And it makes perfect sense. It is made, it's actually not made of coral. It's made out of a different kind of rock. And actually, this is a piece of Coral Castle right here. No, I didn't chip it off. It was laying on the ground, so I picked it up. That's a piece of Coral Castle. So here's what I think, and again, it was built in 1938. So again, I'm not just sitting afar and making statements. I went there. I went to the place. I walked through the place. I spent the $50 and bought the books that are sold at the place. And I read the books. So all I'm saying is, I'm trying to get my camera to focus. So all I'm saying is, if you disagree with me, that's okay. But until you do your own research, which equals mine, get that cunt out of my face. Don't be a jerk. That's all I'm saying. So let's talk about Coral Castle and why I have become convinced that Coral Castle is a homing beacon for lost twin flames. And that's exactly why Ed built the place. Again, I'm reading from this book that was written by Ed's best friend. It's the most objective work I've ever found about Coral Castle. And that's another big one, Sterling. It doesn't stand in its original location. And we're going to get to that, Sterling. Very, very good catch. Ed Leedskalnin in 1938 moved Coral Castle. That's right. It was originally in Florida City. And he moved it to the city of Homestead. What is a homestead? A homestead is a place you live. It's the land. It's where you put down your stakes and you go out and you make a home. Now, it's made out of a rock that's hewn out of the ground. It's kind of like coral, but I can't remember the name of the rock, but it's not coral per se, but it looks just like coral. So that's why they call it the Coral Castle. But it is rock. He did mine the rock, or I guess it's not what you would say mine. He quarried the rock himself and built it. So at any rate, in 1938, he moved it from Florida City to Homestead. I find that significant. And he began to assimilate it. He began to put it together. And as I flip through the book to the highlighted sections, I'll give you the good stuff, and then we'll talk about more of why I'm convinced that it is a homing beacon for twin flames. So you're talking about, why did he build it? Why would a man do this really Herculean effort? And he's doing it in the hot Florida sun. He's working by himself. And he spent years to do this. Does it have a purpose? Asked Holly. Great questions. No, that does not have a purpose, but I believe it does have a purpose. And instead of speculating what the purpose is, Why don't we let Edward Leedskalnin, as written by one of his best friends, tell you what it was about? This best friend says that the reason Ed built Coral Castle was he built it as a monument to eternal love. He built it as a monument to eternal love. He moved it to Homestead. Is it magical? Is it mundane? I think the answer is yes. So he moved it to Homestead, and he would tell the story of how he was waiting for his lost love to come find him there at the Coral Castle. He said that he knew that sometimes married couples have difficulty getting along together. I think he's talking about twin flames. I'm not convinced that this woman was actually real in this lifetime. I believe that Edward Leedskalnin, Ed was waiting for a twin flame. And we're going to dive deeper into that and show you what I think is more evidence that he was doing exactly that. He was waiting for, in my opinion, his twin flame. He built it as a monument to eternal love. And he said that even sometimes couples have a difficult time getting together. And there's a chair in Coral Castle that's called the Twisted Heart. And he knows that sometimes couples have a hard time, and that if he sits in that chair that is a twisted heart, he knows that even though his love's not there, even though his love hasn't shown up yet, their love is not broken. It's just twisted. Their hearts are only twisted, not broken. They're still very much in love, and they just have to wait a little longer. So this guy builds this several 1,000-ton structure, says it's a monument to eternal love, says he's waiting on the return of a woman that nobody ever met, that everybody says didn't even exist, but yet the power of the love existed in his heart to build this place. You saw the place, the massiveness of it. I'm telling you, he built it because he was waiting for a twin flame. The original love story says that he spent many years cutting into stone. He spent years cutting his love story into stone. Do you understand and remember what this guy did? Let me show you just one more time what this guy did. This guy did all this stuff. He built all this stuff. Did you do it magically, Ed? No, I didn't do it magically. Did you do it because you wanted to be a superstar? No, I didn't do it because I want to be a superstar. Ed, why did you build this stuff? I built this stuff as a monument to eternal love. I built this stuff because I'm waiting on a love that nobody ever met, that nobody ever believed was even true, and that never, ever showed up. But he built this, in his own words, as a monument to love. And not just love, but a monument to eternal love. Holly asked, he created a temple to love. Are there spirits or ghosts there? Did you bring the rods? Yes. And what is there is right down through the middle of that place. Let me go back to my picture, because I think it's right about there. Let me go back to my picture. Let me see if I can find a good picture of it. And there's the two girls again. Right over, Sophia's up against the back wall. And if you would come over about right here, straight through that property, right by the reflecting pool that goes down, right near this pool, the rods were like rocketed to this thing. It's right in through here, actually. You can feel an energy band. it was almost like Star Trek, the Nexus, Star Trek Generations. There's an energy band that runs right through here, and you can feel it. It's tangible. And the rods were freaking pinned to it. And Sandra and I, and even Sophia, who was 4 at the time, was like, wow, what is that? You could literally feel the power band running right through here. As far as I know, it's not a ley line, not that I've seen on any map, but there's definitely a power band running right through here. I am convinced, and we'll keep going into the reasons, that it is a energetic homing beacon for lost twin flames. He built this thing as a monument to eternal love. His never showed up. I'll be frank with you. I'm wondering if he built it just for me, but I have an inkling that there's been other people that have met their twin flames at that location. So he spent years cutting into stone the love story. He reckoned it to the story of the Old Testament, where Jacob longed 7 years for a wife and received the wrong one. How much more twin flame can you get? And it says here, Ed never received a wife at all. She never showed up. And that's true. She never did show up, at least in the way that people were looking for her to show up. And when Ed first began his work of stone, I'm reading from page 25, at the original location, he built it around the theme of his love, who he had left in Latvia, or did he leave her in another life? When anyone visited him, he enthusiastically went through the story of how and why he built the place for her. He always had so much enthusiasm that one would have thought she was about to show up any moment. He talked about her for so many years that people began to wonder if she was even real. He couldn't have been inspired to design and build the tender love story in stone without true love for her in his heart, says the writer of this book. Personally, this guy says he doubts the real story of Ed and his eternal love will ever be known. Guess what? I just got chills. We're making the true story of Ed Leedskallen and his build. He was from Scandinavia, and his coral castle. They called him Mr. Can because Mr. Kant was dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to the place. Ladies and gentlemen, I've walked around the place. Ladies and gentlemen, I've studied the place. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a power band running through the place. Ladies and gentlemen, it was built to eternal love. His eternal love never showed up, and he knew that he had constructed a place and moved it to the right place where it could sit out and emit frequencies throughout the cosmos, across time and space, to bring his lost twin flame back to him. From what we can tell, she never made it. Or when he died, did he just go to where she was? I don't know. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the law of attraction? Do you believe in the power of intention? This man manifested incredible amounts of intention. This man manifested incredible amounts of attraction out. Here I am, my love, come find me. It's a beacon. Bang, 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 bang. I met Sandra D'Angelo virtually. She was a subscriber to my channel, and she paid me to do some work with her on her blank. I think it was back in September when we first met, quote unquote. And I'm going to tell a little bit about my story, and we're going to talk about this again on Wednesday in full extent. When the first time I laid eyes on her, when she came up on the screen on Zoom, I literally gasped. I inhaled. Whoa. I mean, I just knew that was her. And I wasn't even looking for her. I thought, wow, this is, you hear that, oh, this is the girl I'm going to, it was that way for me. And I could see something spark in her eyes. And I remember she sat back, and my first question was, tell me about your family life. I mean, hey, I'm professional. I'm doing work for her. But I wanted to know, ladies and gentlemen, tell me about your family life. She was in a committed relationship. So a wall went up. Boom. He died, Holly. He just died of natural causes. A wall went up. And we're going to talk about this on Wednesday. Because, yeah, even though I thought she was the one, even though I felt incredibly compelled to her, even though I felt like I didn't know what a twin flame was, didn't believe in a twin flame, would have argued against a twin flame. And as soon as when I felt it, even though it was very, very intense, and even though I could see there was a spark in her eye that she felt it too, I probably did read her mind, TL, to be honest with you. And that was one of the reasons, TL, you're too good. I almost felt like I had psychically invaded her because I read her mail like that. Not her real mail, but I knew what was going on. So I put a wall up because she was in a committed relationship. And I put a wall up to make sure that I didn't cross that boundary. We're going to talk about this on Wednesday. You can't do it, twin flame or not. In fact, I refused to work with her anymore because of that strong attraction I had to her. And she was in a relationship that was inappropriate. And she shared with me now that she was upset. She cried, was very, very angry with me because I never said to her, look, I'm crunching hard on you. I'm digging you big time, but you're with another dude. And it wasn't just, boyfriend, girlfriend. They were in a committed relationship. And I can't go there with you. I didn't go into all that. I just wouldn't schedule any more meetings with her. So maybe I was a baby, but I knew that she was, or a coward. Path of least resistance, right? And that's so key to manifesting your twin flame. And if you screw that up, guess what? You got to come back another lifetime if you want to get it right. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday. So that was it. And I mean, there's no phone calling. There's no text messaging. There's no emailing. None of that. Cut off, bro. Cut off. Even though I was very attracted to her, the thing I value most is my integrity, and I used to call it my anointing, but being in the right place physically and spiritually to be able to receive and get what I have, what I get, and give it out to you. Nothing's worth more than that to me in this world or the next or the last. So I had to literally put up a wall, a psychic wall of protection against her, and to protect her from me projecting any feelings. Couldn't work with her anymore. But anyway, long story kind of short, she was still a subscriber. I would still see her in the chat room. And come December, that was September, come December, I announced the first paranormal trip. She says, oh, I live near there. I'll meet you there with my daughter. Great. So we met, saw her there, fireworks on my end. Don't know about her end, but no touchy, no feely, no kissy, no flirty, nothing. All business, yo. I'm in the business of doing business, and business was a booming, cousin. None of that. But I knew what I knew, and I knew that she knew that I knew, and I knew that she knew, and it was just there. But we did our thing. She went home, and it wasn't until several months later I got a text message from her that said, hey, I'm not in that relationship anymore. And it took me about 30 seconds to respond to that. And here we are today. I met her at Coral Castle. Standing on that ley line, that power band, I knew without a doubt that it was a twin flame situation with her. Coral Castle, because of the intention with which it was built, because of the type of construction. Remember we talked the other day about rocks communicating? It's one great, big, huge transmitter calling out to lost love. Let me get really woo-woo with you. I don't think that's the first time that her and I, have been there. But we were back there, and I get the real strong indication that there were times in other places, in other times, in other lives, in other galaxies, universes, whatever, where we didn't act in integrity. And that's why it didn't work. But this time, this beacon of stone on a power band built with the incredible intention of love as a monument to eternal love, beaming out, literally beaming out into the universe. Those stones speak. Those rocks talk. Those rocks broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. They broadcast. This thing is just womp, 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 womp. It's pulsating with what? The power that ley line's right through here. That power band runs right through here. No, where's my orientation? Yeah, it runs right through here. This thing is a broadcast beacon. He didn't build it with sound technology. He didn't build it with any woo-woo. He didn't build it with any magic. Unless, of course, you consider love magic. And I guess at the end of the day, love is probably the greatest magic that there is, isn't it? December 17th, 2017. At about 2:00 p.m. I believe that Sandra and I were drawn back to this beacon. And it was there that we realized that we were twin flames, even though, again, we acted in integrity and it didn't manifest. Am I not showing this? It didn't manifest for some time. But here it is, beaming out energy, intention, a homing signal for lost twin flames. I just wrote an email to the Coral Castle, and we are going to, as soon as I can, I'm thinking as soon as the temperatures get cool in Florida again, I'm going to rent the Coral Castle, and we're going to have a great seminar down there for how to recognize, how to activate, and how to call in your twin flame at the monument built to eternal love. Coming soon in South Florida. Wouldn't it be great to be able to do it on December 17th, 2018, 1 year from the time that we met? How long was I single before? And let's go back to the chat room. That's all I got. I believe Coral Castle is a beacon for twin flames. I could even believe that it was built just for me and Sandra to get back together as twin flames. But I have a not a hinkering, a hunkering, I got one of those H things. I got an inkling that it is more than that, because it's putting out that incredibly strong intention, all that stone sitting on that energetic line, all that intention of love, 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 eternal love, lost love, come back to me, find me. It's drawing twin flames to it. And if you know of any other stories of anybody that had a twin flame type experience at Coral Castle, please let me know. Greetings and salutations to you, Mark. Somebody, I think they're up in Minnesota somewhere, talking about there's a huge underwater pyramid in Rock Lake, Wisconsin. Very interesting. It doesn't stand in its original position. No, it was moved to Homestead. It's made out of some rock that's kind of like coral. We already talked about the purpose that it has. Are twin flames ever really lost? Yeah. If you're not together, you're lost. And if you're lost for probably at least a lifetime. Maybe you get lucky and get another chance in the same lifetime. That's why there's things you must do and steps you must take in order to maximize the fleeting opportunities that you get to manifest your twin flame relationship. I still can't believe that the words twin flame are coming out of my mouth. But we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. Did you feel anything? Oh, when we walked across, and I'd already talked about this, when we walked across that energetic band, we both stopped dead in our tracks. Our mouths fell open. We looked at each other. And Sophia, 4 years old, starts bouncing up and down, says, "What's that?" Yeah, it's very apparent. And I looked at her. She looked at me, Sandra, and we knew, whoa, this is something. She's in a committed relationship. I'm a gentleman. That's as far as it went until she was out of that committed relationship. Homestead love, absolutely. Patience is a virtue. He created a temple to love. I didn't look for spirits or ghosts there. I wasn't at that place. When we go back, I will. Why would the evil globalists that love us so much allow this monument to still stand? Because maybe they can't take it down, because love is the most powerful force in the universe. And even though they'd want to destroy it, they can't. Or maybe they're so sick and demented and twisted and dark that they don't even know it. Or care about it. Maybe the flame was rock solid, even though it was separated by time. Rare to incarnate at the same time as a twin flame. One's usually on the other side to protect and watch over the twin flame. Interesting. Again. It's very rare if you get it, and you got to do it right, or you're going to screw it up, and you may never get it. Because think about it. I believe that there's multiverses. I believe that there's quantum realities. So let me grab some paper. It would be rare enough if you've got two universes that are circling around, right? And twin flame in one of them, twin flame in the other one. And you've got to wait just for the right overlap to put you guys together, right? To give you the chance to be together. You got to wait for the right, this is all scratch paper. You got to wait for the right overlap. But what if it's not two pieces of paper? What if it's 22 pieces of paper? What if it's 222 pieces of paper? What if it's 2,222 pieces of paper? Now you're talking about astronomical math dictating the alignments that give you the potentials to maximize and activate twin flame reality. And if you get a chance, you can't afford to screw it up. And we're going to talk on Wednesday about all this and how you can make sure that you don't screw it up. What happened to the builder? He died. He died alone. We could charge this thing up. Absolutely. He was labeled as crazy. Yes, eccentric would probably be a better way to put it. I saw a picture of a beautiful woman, says Andrew. 6 years later, we got married. They've been married for 34 years. That's a great question. Do you believe in more than one twin flame at a time? My blink would say no, but I'm not an expert. I believe in soul groups, the quality of your consciousness. Married my third wife a year after meeting her. 21 years of marriage. Can't imagine life without her. Wow. Excellent. How long were you single before meeting Sandra? Well, I got divorced in 2000. So I guess technically I was single 17 years, almost 18 years. I did have one relationship about 7 years ago. So I guess you could say 7 years, technically. long time. Love is all you need. Love is the greatest magic. Quartz has its own pulse. Maybe I need a trip there. What are your thoughts on being a twin flame? Wow, I don't know, Aurora. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. We're so close to one another. Some are across the world from one another. Awesome. Congrats. Thank you very much. If you arrive at your thoughts, think of your love and you'll have your love. Interesting. All stones are from our ancestors' bodies from the beginning of time. Holly, that resonates with me. That resonates with me. I'm still listening, says Travis. Love is beautiful. Very good. Very well put. Wow. Did you believe in twin flames before? No, I thought twin flames were stupid. I thought twin flame was new age gobbledygook silliness. And I'm still not convinced that most of it isn't, but that's another story. Could you astral travel and work on a plan? Yes, you could. Absolutely. In fact, we'll also touch again on spiritual wills, and we're going to have a seminar about that. That's part of what a spiritual will is, setting your intention that when I leave this place, I'm going to go find my twin flame. I'm going to stay with my twin flame. I'm going to get as far away from her or him as I can. Setting your intention. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think when you get to the right place, you attract the right person. Or sometimes maybe you attack the right person. There's my case for Coral Castle being a beacon, a homing beacon for lost twin flames. How could it not be? How it was built, why it was built, the intention put into it, the fact that it's made of rock that's sitting on a power band, a ley line, a vortex, whatever you call it, and it's beaming that energy out into the universe. I'm telling you, it's a homing beacon. It might have been made just for Sandra and I. Hopefully other people can use it to manifest their twin flame. And I think that if you come to that seminar, we're going to have a twin flame activation ceremony. And you just might be able to manifest your twin flame. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is the new Cosmic Knowledge Channel, where we teach you to guide your own spirit, be your own guru, master your own ascension, question answers, ask questions, question answers. And I'm here for two reasons. I'm here to remind you you're divine, you're sovereign, you're free. And I'm here to give you the information that I hope that you will use. Thanks, Sterling, to unindoctrinate yourself.